Hello and welcome back to Living Abroad. Today I'm going to tell you about a pastor who's been accused of abusing 156 children in the Philippines. I'm going to tell you guys what the accusations are, as well as what other people have to say about it, and give you all the details that you might need so you don't have to do the research. Here's what the accusations are. The pastor and American founder of a Pampanga-based child care facility accused of child abuse is not under the Bureau of Immigration's watch list, preventing him from leaving the Philippines. According to the Department of Social Welfare and Development, Megan Manahan, director of the agency's Standards Bureau, confirmed the above, saying it would ensure Pastor Jeremy Keith Ferguson's attendance in all court hearings on the case. Ferguson is the founder of the director of the New Life Baptist Church of Mexico, Pampanga, Inc. Quote, "So this means that we are certain he is here in the Philippines to face what he needs to face regarding the abuses he committed," end quote, Manahan said in a statement on Sunday. The DSWD said a commitment order was issued last week for Ferguson's transfer to the BI Warden facility following a request from Pampanga Police. A cease and desist order had also been issued after alleged abuse against minors in his facility and for failing to comply with child protection standards. Ferguson was arrested on August 13th and is facing 2 counts of violating Section 10 of Republic Act 7610, Special Protection of Children Against Abuse, Exploitation, and Discrimination, with bail set at 160,000 pesos. Quote, "He is technically eligible for bail, but because he's also an immigration charge, he cannot be released. He will be committed to the Bureau of Immigration," Manahan explained. According to DSWD, its Standards Bureau inspected the facility on August 12th. Children reported experiencing physical, verbal, and psychological abuse allegedly committed by Ferguson and some house parents. A total of 158 children were transferred to the DSWD's Reception and Study Center of Children in Lubao, Pampanga, where they are receiving psychosocial support. Meanwhile, Pastor Ruben Abante, senior pastor of Lighthouse Bible Baptist Church and brother of Manila 6th District Representative Bienvenido Benny Abante Jr., urged the DSWD to carefully review the allegations. He added that the police officers in Mexico, Pampanga, reportedly confirmed that Ferguson and his orphanage had a good reputation and no record of complaints. Abante also said Ferguson denied all allegations, claiming the inspection was routine until it escalated into a raid involving armed SWAT officers. Ferguson alleged the social workers accused the orphanage of being a cult. Abante said children at the facility were unwilling to leave and pleaded with Ferguson not to hand them over to DSWD personnel. All right, not much detail regarding exactly what the matter was. Let's just be very clear. He is not being accused of anything inappropriate. The only thing, not the only, of course, is very serious still, but it's living conditions, small quarters, and having like barbed wire over the walls. He explained that the wires were about teenagers trying to come into the facility itself and that he's not doing anything incorrectly. Many people were quick to say it's better to be sleeping in tight quarters than on the streets, under bridges, and things like that. There's a lot that is kind of like not said in this whole accusations, which I'm sure it may come out in court hearings. But let's take a look at this other person, Abante, who went there himself and kind of try to confirm some of the situation and exactly what's going on. All right, this is what he said. "At the PNP detention facility in Mexico, Pampanga, I met the police, Pearl Joy Golian, and talked with her at her office. She confirmed that Pastor Jeremy Ferguson, the New Life Baptist Church, and their orphanage have good standing repute before them. In fact, some of our police officers helped bringing food for the children in the orphanage." She also confirmed that the August 13th, they simply assisted in the DSWD. They do not have any records of complaints, even case filed against Pastor Ferguson in their records. After confirming all this, I asked if I could talk to Pastor Jeremy Ferguson, and he was brought to the office, and I was allowed to talk with him privately, along with the 2 pastors with me. This is what I found out. He came to the Philippines as a young missionary 22 years ago, married a Filipino in 2004, and they now have a 19-year-old son. He has not left the Philippines since he came. That's even his son has not been to the U.S. because his attention to pastorate and the orphanage. In 2017, being concerned with kids, he started the orphanage, which became the church's lead ministry. They operate the orphanage in their 7,000 square meter church property and have helped more than 300 children, in which 160 still remain. Both the church and the orphanage have completed legal documents, permits, and certificates through the 8 years of their operation. As orphanage, they did not have any single legal complaints, not from barangay, local government, police, even the DSWD. As far as he was concerned, the orphanage has been in good standing before the DSWD. They are careful to comply with all the regulations, and the biggest challenge of which is the employment of social workers to comply with ratio of 20 kids to a social worker. The orphanage is sustained by donations, contributions from various individuals, situations who believe in their cause. On August 12th, Tuesday, a team of social workers came to the orphanage and directly talked to the kids. The impression was it was a regular routine inspection, as this is regularly done. The orphanage staff and teachers went about their respective tasks, many in their school. On August 13th, they were surprised by the raid and how all of a sudden they were treated as criminals, without warrants of arrest, and the DSWD personnel assisted by heavily armed SWAT. They were not made aware of any complaint, no warnings even. The orphanage kids were not actually willing to go with the DSWD personnel. They were crying, pleading to Pastor Ferguson not to give them away. To this, another social worker said, "Jollibee lang, Jollibee." In order for the children to be willing, their two employed social workers went with them, along with some church orphanage staff. They were brought to the DSWD facility in Lubao. Pastor Jeremy Ferguson categorically denied all allegations against him, specifically the things cited by Secretary Rex Gatchalian in the news reports. What he knows is there were only 2 complaints drawn by DSWD social worker from the kids last August 12th, and these came from a new one who were previously handed to them by DSWD and are known to be rugby boys. These 2, along with 2 others, had instances of running away from orphanages, going roofs to roofs of houses, even stealing. After talking to Pastor Jeremy for an hour, I headed to the facility and talked to other personnel. We arrived under heavy rain and recorded everything in the video. Upon entry, I saw the barbed wire newly installed at the sealed gate. They placed the barbed wire because the rising instances of teenagers running away and being adventurous. The gate had to be sealed completely because there were instances of outsiders exhibiting their privates to the girls and handing over love letters. They did not employ guards. Their own personnel take turns as guards, headed by Pastor Ferguson's own father-in-law. Their own 19-year-old son helped in the operation of the orphanage. I inspected their office. They have an open cabinet where all their legal documents, permit certificates, and receipts are displayed and are all in order. I talked to all the personnel inside, gathered them in the mass hall, and recorded a video of each. Everyone has something good to say about Pastor Jeremy Ferguson, describing him as strict and fatherly, very caring, even for sick ones. I met the house parents and the teachers, the cook helpers, and recorded in the video the testimonials. One of those who I talked to was their scholar, who will soon graduate as social worker. She lived in the facility for the whole 8 years. There are 2 of them, and other just graduated from Pampanga State University Department of Social Worker, magna cum laude. One of the kids brought by DSWD is scheduled for operation, and they all wondered how the child should be cared for. I stayed in the facility for almost an hour. I have all the testimonials recorded, and I'm willing to endorse the same to Secretary Rex Gatchalian. All of the personnel I talked to with categorically denied all accusations of employing criminal acts. No change, no starvation, no severe punishments, but moral, biblical discipline. All right, so there's a lot to go there. I'm going to leave the link in the description down below as well if you guys want to check out directly what he had to say. There was some Tagalog in there I didn't translate. It seems like most of the concern is coming from 2 individual kids that came to the orphanage, newly ones, and they complained. Everything seems to have an explanation, at least from what they're saying, right? But this is not automatically kind of dismiss the allegations either, right? So we still have to wait and see what the findings are. One would assume nobody's going to bring SWAT if there wasn't some kind of evidence, but then again, we don't know, right? We don't know who had a grudge against him. We don't know what did happen. As of right now, I'm just bringing you all the information that's available right now. It seems like there's also Lisa Hontiveros who wants to go ahead and make this case kind of like an example why there has to be change in legislation. I'll tell you what I mean about that. Senator Risa Hontiveros has filed resolution seeking a Senate probe into the alleged abuse of 156 children rescued from New Life Baptist Church. Reports said the children suffer physical, all the stuff we just went about. Hontiveros stressed the need to review child protection laws and accreditation rules to ensure stronger safeguards for children and welfare facilities. She wants the Senate panel on women, children, family relations, and gender equality to lead the investigation. So it looks like I'm all about that. Of course, I think anybody would want to have some proper accreditation. You can't just have somebody opening up an orphanage, basically. So I feel like this should have been in place anyways. So that's her angle, saying that this should not happen, basically. I mean, I don't think anybody is for abuse. So, I mean, if they can get some kind of more streamlined, proper, accredited, all the legal, like all that stuff, if they get more benefit comes from that, then sure, why not? But also we have to be sure we don't ruin a man's life just based on 2 8 and 9-year-old kids that are known to be troublemakers. So Either or right now, it's kind of up in the air. Let's see what happens with this case. Leave your comments down below. What do you think? If you're somebody that knows this pastor personally, if you live in that area, if you've helped in the orphanage, I know some people said in the comment section. Also, seems like a lot of people are praying for this person and stepping up and basically vouching for him. I don't know him. I don't know if he's guilty or not. I cannot tell you. Leave your comments down below if you have any experience with him personally or his church. And that is the latest on Pastor Jeremy Ferguson. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.